Hey, it's good to see you today. I tell you what, I don't want to jam too much on this because I don't want to, steal your thunder, Hal. But the idea you're coming up with had the notes C underneath. We had it built up to have a major, and then we had a sixth. So this C augmented, even though we had our 7 on here, is like a major minor kind of feeling based off of having this C major, but our augmented note is now our diminished. Now what we're seeing now is if we were to play this out and use our C major 7, we would still have a foundation of the 3 notes as a triad with a major 7th, which is a C major and an E minor. And then I realized that C major has no sharps and flats, so A minor works. When we play E minor, we're also kind of thinking about the key of G major. And because G major has that 1 sharp, that means that all of the chords inside G major really do fit. I don't want to go as far as using the diminished right away, but the note we are using is the 7th tone in the key of G. But when we play it over the top of a C major 7, it gives a very interesting tone. One of the things you came up with was like the notice how these notes do really fit within the kind of chord construction of a C major 7. That gives us a very, very ominous feeling because what you're doing is you're playing this note, which should be a major, as a minor. So you've essentially created a major minor. If you get rid of that tone and add the F sharp, you still are going to be having a little bit of dissonance because that would be an Aug 4th in the key of C. So the kind of construction and idea of this is when you put 2 triads together, no matter what those triads are, you can find that the chord created is either pleasing or not pleasing. Sometimes when we move our fingerings to incorporate different triads, lower and then higher, it gives us different feelings. I know you know this, but what I'd like you to concentrate is being able to play like something on the low end, playing a chord construction in the middle, and then being able to do a melody which might or might not stay within the same diatonic key structure. It might need to shift and move depending on where the chords are for the key. Now here's where it comes down to knowing your key signatures. When you're playing in the key of C and you have a major 7, you have an E minor. Adding that F sharp would give you a G major 7. So maybe a great chord progression you could have would be like a C major 7 to a G major 7. When you go to an E, it doesn't really alter the feeling of that G major 7, but it adds depth. And if the melody that you're creating utilizes those notes and adds one more note that is not part of the chords you originally played, E minor, G major, or C major, how does that one note that you put in, like before we were talking about the F sharp, I just accidentally hit a B flat, but how does that alter the major 7 into the minor 7? If you don't play it up top as part of the accidental note, you play it down below, doesn't necessarily sound bad as a cluster with the other notes up top. That's your focus for this week. Try to play a melody down below, like let's change it to the key of F. So if we have F, maybe an F to a D minor, and then maybe because we have that D minor, we can turn that D minor into a minor 7, and then G golly into a 6 chord. When we have that 7, we can see how these notes now here alter the way that we hear where the C was. So the construct is, can you come up with a melody with a lower end, keeping it going, and go between the two? If you do play a note that doesn't feel like it's part of the quality, can you come up with a melody line over the top of those, utilizing the same notes you would play? So does the D minor playing this, if I had to guess, I'd say that's melodic minor. No, hold on. D, E, D, E, F. There's our minor third. G, A, B flat. So there's our flat 6. And there's our natural. This is harmonic minor. So can you play the D minor, harmonic minor, over the top of F major? And where do the dissonances happen? Yeah, right there. Why? I kind of have this half step, but if I play it down below, it still feels weird. So the idea is, will that note be a part of your melody line as a main note? Probably not. If it's in there at all, it might be an accent note. That's what we're looking for. Anyway, it was good seeing you today. I will see you next week.